Welcome to Utah Stories Top 5, where we scour all of the top headlines of the day, sift through all the clutter, spin, fake news, and present you the most important pressing headlines, saving you countless hours. This is your best first download of the day to get things rolling so you can stay informed, engaged, and aware of the most important issues impacting the quality of life in Utah and your local communities. I'm your host for today, Richard Markosian. On today's Top 5, we have monarch populations are plummeting, what Utah is doing to save the insect. Frame for the Final Spire is placed on the Salt Lake City downtown Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints temple, almost 4 years into the project. How much does the temple cost? We look into that. Number 3, Utah lawmakers running nearly 100 education-related bills. Is this causing teacher burnout? Actor and director Kevin Costner is going to open a film studio in St. George. More films are coming into Utah. We're going to get into that. A California Condor love affair is for life. A love story between condors for today. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But before we get into our headlines, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel. And today's episode is brought to you by Utah Stories Magazine. Did you know that for just $3 a month, you can have Utah Stories print magazine delivered right to your door? Utah Stories has been in print for nearly 20 years, and the reason people still love reading it on paper is that it's a unique and fun, tangible way to experience the tangible world around you. Screens might be taking over our consciousness, but print media will never die because print offers a way to connect you to the real world so that you can be part of the real world. Let's not undermine our communities believing that somehow online communities can replace them. Utah Stories, with all of our local stories and the voice of local Utah, is the way to connect you to the real world. Okay, let's dive into our first headline and story. Monarch populations plummet. Utahns work to save the insect. The monarch butterfly populations might be declining in Utah. People are working to create safe havens across our state in order for butterflies to make their migration. Friends of monarchs now say it's a perfect time to start planting milkweed. I was a little confused on what milkweed is. It was called something else when I was a kid, so look it up online. But that plant is absolutely critical for the survival of the monarch butterfly. In fact, the organization is working with Future Farmers of America programs in high school across Utah to get seeds in the ground before the monarch butterflies start migrating to the Beehive State, according to ABC4. Friends of Monarchs founder said, quote, "I was out in the yard one day and I wondered why I didn't see them anymore," Rachel Taylor told ABC4 News. "So I started growing some milkweed to see if I could attract them, and lo and behold, I could," she said. Number 2, the frame for the Final Spire is placed on the Salt Lake City Temple almost 4 years into renovation. Renovation on the Salt Lake City Temple reached a milestone Tuesday when it was celebrated by over 800 construction members that the Final Spire was placed on the iconic LDS structure. The renovation and upgrades have been ongoing for the past 4 years. Completion is now expected in 2026. Josh Fenn with Jacobson Construction, who oversees the project, said to KSL, "Countless people continue to give their heart and soul to this renovation, so seeing a big step forward like this come to fruition is touching for all of us." The Salt Lake City Temple, along with other areas on Temple Square, are being renovated, including seismic upgrades, which will enable the temple to withstand earthquakes and once again host hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of weddings. And we will find estimates for the cost of the temple. We tried to find estimates, I should say. Estimates range up to $2 billion for this renovation project, but we could not find the official cost on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints website. Headline number 3, Utah lawmakers running nearly 100 education-related bills. You want to know what's going on the Capitol Hill? Well, it's going to take you forever to start to try to understand it with over 100 education-related bills. Some education groups say those bills need to stop or at least slow down. The Senate Majority Leader's agree it's a lot, but they say they're trying to prioritize what passes. The Utah School Boards Association says it's tracking 102 bills that impact public education. Quote, I think it would be really great if at least we had a plan so it wasn't just willy-nilly, whatever you feel like your neighbor is upset about, you're going to sponsor that legislation this year, end quote, said Terry Rhodes, president of the Utah School Boards Association, to KSL. Teachers are feeling exhausted, saying things like, how much of this can we take? Nearly 30% said their top priority for lawmakers was to reject new initiatives that would contribute to the existing stress and burnout among educational providers, a UEA spokesman said to KSL. I think that one rule they can consider passing is to make it easier to drop your kids off. There's got to be a better way than waiting in line for like 30 minutes just to drop your kid off. I came up with my own idea. Park across the street from the school and walk your kid yourself across the street. Like that saves me 30 minutes when I do that. I don't know. They need to pass a law to do that. Number 4, actor-director Kevin Costner is going to open a film studio in St. George. Kevin Costner has filmed many of his latest movies in and around southern Utah and St. George. Kevin Costner starred in the TV series Yellowstone, which Utah Stories got the pleasure of touring a while back. Utah Film Studios, where the series was filmed for many years. Costner is now set to open his own film studio in St. George. Plans for the studio were shared with a video that was played during the mayor's address. Territory Studios will have 70,000 square feet of sound stages, along with 51,000 square feet of production warehouses, 31,750 square feet of production offices, according to Fox News. The studio will also include a Costner-themed restaurant when it opens up, along with a tour for visitors. It's truly so exciting that more and more films are coming to Utah. If you went to Moab last fall, there was this little mini city set up, and it was incredible. There was probably 50 star RV wagons and just this huge cast of characters who were filming the Western saga. Do you remember what's called, Allegra? I can't remember. Horizon, maybe? Yeah, Horizon, and it just is making a massive impact on the economy of especially Moab, but I'm sure at St. George's would love to have that there. That's good news. All right, it being Valentine's Day, we've found this story thanks to our friends at Cool. It was sent to us by Andrea over at Cool. California Condors love affair is for life. So our story begins high above the meandering Colorado River, where the Red Cliffs meet the azure skies of the American Southwest. If your adventures have recently led you across the Navajo Bridge, you might have already met our main characters. For Valentine's Day, we tell you the tale of 2 California condors and how their species is teetering on the brink of extinction, yet keeps clawing back, driven by innate strength and human determination. This love story serves as a reminder that even in the wild, the heart endures, adapts, and never gives up. Very cool. They thought that these condors might have been extinct, and these 2 showed up. And it's amazing. If you just give them a place to live, give them a chance, they'll keep repopulating. All right, so our question of the day, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? Comment below. We'd like to hear from you. What are you doing that's special, unique? I think there's a trend toward more experience for Valentine's Day. More young people want to actually go out and do experiences. Some of the cool ones we found, we're going to an Alpenglobe. MP's going to something like that tonight. Other people I know like to go up in the mountains, snowshoeing with a bottle of champagne or some chocolate. Let us know what you're doing. We'd like to hear. So our adventure of the day is a story in our current issue of Utah Stories magazine, Romantic Hikes in Moab. Check out these hikes written by our writer Rachel Fixon from Moab. Check out Bride Canyon, Wedding Arch Ring, Kissing Turtles, Handhold Arch, Anniversary Arch, north and south, and Matrimony Springs. All those recommendations can be found in our current issue of Utah Stories magazine, which is a great segue where you can spend just $3 a month, and you will help support our local independent coverage that always seeks to try to find the truth. I cannot say that is always the case in the mainstream media, and I'm going to be getting into that, actually. I have a story that I'm breaking very soon about how and why coverage of a very important homeless building just stopped, and it mysteriously stopped and ended. Could that be because of who is financing some of the mainstream local media outlets out there? We're going to get into that. So stay tuned. Go out, subscribe to our free digital newsletter, and you can engage in a greater degree with your local community and get the voice of local Utah delivered right to your inbox. You can do that by visiting, again, utahstories.com. And we will keep you posted and keep you informed of what's happening in your local community. And keep us posted on what's happening with you. We'd like to get your story ideas. We'd like to get your submissions. What is being neglected and forgotten from our local media? What should we be investigating and looking at? We have 3 ongoing investigations right now, but we'd like to have more. We'd like to have more story ideas, more of your voices included in this podcast. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, share this episode with a friend. If you shared this with 5 friends right now, that would make a significant impact to our growth of this channel and our ability to get you more quality local news. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.